All right, let's dive into some Faroe Islands news from the last week. We're checking out Kringvarp Føroyar and in.ofo for this one. Should be a good mix of stuff as always.
Yeah, there's quite a bit to get through, actually.
Let's not waste any time then. What's first?
Well, we can start with politics. The Valba municipal elections wrapped up. Minority coalitions holding on to control there.
Interesting. Any word on their agenda going forward?
Not from these reports, no. Just the outcome. Now, over on Arger. Big anniversary, 50 years for the Kirkjuag Mission Shuzia.
Oh, wow. 50 years is a long time. Bet that was a good celebration.
Yeah, big moment for the community. And speaking of milestones, Mianamskolanum i Suðuroy, that's the secondary school in Suðuroy, they've got a new headmaster, Merit Gunnerstein Nielsen.
Excellent. Always good to see new leadership coming in. What else is going on?
Over in Sandoy, a little bit of political maneuvering going on with the new municipal council appointments. Lista A, they're saying they want more influence on decisions.
Makes you think about how those local dynamics play out. Speaking of competition, how about some sports?
Right, well, KIF volleyball, not their week, took a loss against Flair. Hurts their chances for that second place spot.
Oh, that's too bad. How about the women's handball team? How'd they do in the EHF Euro tournament?
Their run's over, unfortunately.
Well, better luck next time. Speaking of next time, any chance of a white Christmas this year?
Doesn't look like it. Might see some snow around New Year's, though.
Fingers crossed for those who want it. How about the rest of the week? What's the weather looking like?
Should be pretty good overall.
Excellent. Glad to hear it. Anything else we should touch on?
Oh yeah, a couple more things. They've shortened that training program for deckhands on the merchant ships. Seems like the industry needed it. Lots of demand.
Huh. Interesting how they adapt to that.
Yeah. And sadly, we did have a passing in the business world. Big loss for the community.
Always tough to hear that. So we've had elections, anniversaries, new appointments, sports, even the weather. A lot to unpack there. Let's take a quick break and then we'll come back to see what it all means for you.
All right, so let's break down some of this news.
Yeah, where do we even start?
Well, the Hizvalba election, that's a big one. Going to be interesting to see what the coalition does with this continued control.
Right. What are their priorities?
And on Argyr, that 50th anniversary, really speaks to how important these local institutions are, you know?
Absolutely. It must have been a special event for a lot of people.
Yeah, generations of memories there, I bet.
And then you've got the new headmaster at Namskalanum, Suðuroy. Wonder what kind of changes she'll bring.
Hard to say, but always interesting to see new leadership, especially in education.
Definitely.
And then there's Sandoy, always something going on over there. This time it's Lista A, they're pushing for more influence.
What is a new council? Got to find their footing.
Exactly. That's politics for you.
And speaking of competition, how about those sports results?
Yeah, tough loss for KIF volleyball. They really wanted that second place spot.
Well, there's always next season.
And for the women's handball team, their Euro run is over.
Oh, that's too bad.
But hey, at least they got to compete at that level.
Experience is valuable. Now, what about the weather?
No white Christmas this year, sorry to say.
Oh, maybe next year.
Could still get some snow around New Year's.
Fingers crossed. At least the rest of the week looks good.
Yeah, no complaints there.
Perfect for getting out and about. Now, before we wrap up, couple more things.
Right, the shorter training program for deckhands, that's going to have a real impact on the maritime industry.
Yeah, makes you think about how work is changing everywhere.
Absolutely. And of course, we have to acknowledge the passing of that business leader. Their contributions won't be forgotten.
A real loss for the community.
Yeah.
So we've got elections, anniversaries, new appointments, sports, weather, even some sad news.
It's life, isn't it?
It is. But what does it all mean for our listeners?
Well, I think it shows how dynamic life in the Faroe Islands is. Always something happening, always evolving.
Even in a place known for its tranquility.
Exactly. And it reminds us that we're all connected, even on these remote islands.
Connected to each other, to the wider world.
And to the past, present, and future.
So as we wrap up, here's a question for our listeners. What local issue do you think will be most important in the coming week?
What will have the biggest impact?
Will Lista A's ambitions change things in Sandoy?
Will the new headmaster shake things up at Mianamskolanum i Suðuroy?
Only time will tell.
But one thing's for sure, the story of the Faroe Islands keeps going.
So stay curious, stay engaged, and keep exploring.